Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnuvadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna. So once again, Hare Krishna to everyone and happy Pandava Nirjal Ekadashi. So today, fortunately, by the will of the Providence, now we are starting our day as early as 6 a.m. Listening to the Srimad Bhagavatam. So first of all, I would like to seek blessings and prayers from all the assembled devotees so that I can present this Srimad Bhagavatam in line with our Guru Parampara, and I at least not make any mistakes or misinterpretation and present things which are not in line with our Parampara. I would also like to acknowledge, like, whatever I would be speaking, they would be all what I have heard from senior devotees. I keep hearing lectures from Radhesham Prabhu, Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, and especially for this session, I had listened to a lecture by His Grace Dr. Kamal Prabhuji from USA. So whatever I would be presenting would be all what I've heard from them. So we are in 23rd chapter of Canto 3. So first we would just take few minutes to revise what this Canto 3 is about. So at the start of Canto 3, we have seen Uddhava meets, or in fact Vidura meets Uddhava, and then there are 4 chapters which we describe about their meeting. And then Uddhava advises Vidura, because of his age, that he should actually go and meet Maitreya Muni and take further instructions or further knowledge from Maitreya Muni. And then after that, we see there is a conversation between Vidura and Maitreya Muni. And we see that initially from chapter number 5 to 11, there is a great description about Sarga, which is basically the primary creation, which talks about the creation of this material world, how the Supreme Lord takes the form of Mahavishnu, and then Garbhodaksai Vishnu and Kshirodaksai Vishnu, and how he creates the 24 elements. And after that, we see the descriptions of Visarga, which is actually the secondary creation, where the descriptions of creation of Lord Brahma is given, and then how Lord Brahma creates or fills this 14 planetary system in this this Brahmanda are described. And from 13 to 19, we see the descriptions of pastimes of Lord Varadev. So in that context, we have seen so many subject matters like the pastimes of Jay and Vijay, and how Lord Vara kills Hiranyaksha, and few pastimes about Hiranyakashipu. And then we see Maitreya Muni, he mentions about Swayambhuva Manu, who is the first Manu created by Lord Brahma, and how Brahma is giving this responsibility to Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, that he should progenate, right? And then in that context, we see one of the daughters, one of the childs of Manu, Swayambhu Manu is Devahuti, Mother Devahuti. And then in the last chapter, we have seen how Devahuti gets married to Kardama Muni. So Kardama Muni is a great devotee of the Supreme Lord. He is not an ordinary yogic Muni. Actually, he's a very, very great devotee. So we'll see about his devotion aspect in this chapter also. And till the next chapter, like today we'll be discussing 23rd chapter. Till the next chapter, we see how Kardamumni and Devahuti, they spend their household life. And then from chapter 25 to 33, which is the end of this canto, we see the teachings of Lord Kapila. So we see that how Lord Kapila, he appears as son of Mother Devahuti, and he gives the instructions to Mother Devahuti. So this is a very brief overview of Canto 3. And today we will be looking at chapter 23, which is actually titled as Mother Devahuti's Lamentation. So the lamentation part would come at the end of this chapter, which are hardly about like 4 to 5 verses, but they are very, 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 very important in this context. And we can see, the chapter name also has been named after this, like Devahuti's lamentation. So we'll see the description how Mother Devahuti actually serves Kardama Muni, her husband, and how she requests him that she wishes for a child. And then, in order to fulfill the request of Mother Devahuti, Kardama Muni, he creates an aerial mansion, which is like top-notch, like palace, no, which cannot be seen in this complete material world, even in the Devalokas also. And then they enjoy for many, many years in that aerial mansion. And at the last, there is a description about the union of Kardamuni and Devahuti, how they beget 9 daughters. And then at the last, when Kardamuni is about to leave, Devahuti actually laments. And then we'll see actually why she is lamenting. No, after spending so many years with her very good husband, Kardamuni. So we will see this chapter in parts. So initially from 1 to 8, the descriptions are given about how Mother Devahuti actually serves Kardamuni. So the chapter starts with Maitreya Muni saying that Maitreya Uvacha Pitrubhyam Prastite Sadvi Patim Ingitako Vida Nityam Paryacharata Pritya Bhavani Va Bhavam Prabhu. So Maitreya Muni is mentioning that after, so because in the last chapter we have seen the wedding of Kardamuni and Mother Devavati. So here now what happens after that? So Maitreya Muni is mentioning that once Pitrubhyam Prastite, once the parents of Mother Devahuti, they have departed, so she has served, her husband very nicely, and she has served in such a manner that Maitri Muni is comparing to goddess Bhavani, right? So uh, Parvati Devi is also known as Bhavani. So we can see, the same similarities between Devahuti and Kardamuni, and also Parvati Devi and Lord Shiva. So even Parvati Devi was child of a king, right? Himalayas, right? And then she gets married to Lord Shiva, who is like a mendicant, who is having no possessions, who is just living under a tree. He's not even having a house to stay in, right? So he's such a simple. Of course, from material perspective, we see that Lord Shiva is having nothing in possession. But when we look at the virtues of Lord Shiva, even Srimad Bhagavatam mentions that he is the foremost devotee in this whole creation, right? So Bhavani also, no, Mother Parvati also, she admires that virtue or qualities of Lord Shiva, and she readily accepts marriage with the Lord Shiva, and she's ready to be in that situation where she is not having any material what is it, pleasure or material conveniences, no? Because if you look at Lord Shiva's situation, Mother Parvati would have faced a lot of inconveniences, right? So when compared to her previous life, where she was living in a palace with her under the protection of her father, who was a king, she enjoyed lot facilities, right? So many conveniences, and she had lot of maid servants, and she was having lot of opulences. She could dress herself very nicely, and it was not required for her to take a lot of austerities. But after she got married to Lord Shiva, she had to be, in a very quiet opposite environment, where she's not having any maid servant. She has to take care of all the services, and she has to be in a very austere condition where there is not uh, any opulence, right? So here Maitri Muni is actually drawing the same comparisons, comparing Mother Devahuti's service towards Kardamuni to that of Mother Parvati Devi's service towards Lord Shiva. So from 1 to 3rd verses, actually, Maitri Muni mentions many characters of Devahuti. Like he mentions how she is very chaste to her husband, without even uh, giving importance to her desires. She has put forth understanding the desires of her husband, and actually um, what to say, making herself inclined towards fulfilling the desires of her husband, right? And it is not that she's feeling that, no, okay, I have to sacrifice my husband. No, she's doing it with a great love, right? And here it is mentioned that, no, with great love, intimacy, purity of mind and body, and then she has a great respect, Gauravena. Now it is mentioned here. So actually, if we see, like in today's conditions also, most of the couples, they are staying alone. We see this trend of nuclear family where husband and wife are staying. But if we practically see, there's a lot of familiarity which comes between husband and wife, and it is very rare to see that a couple having that gauravena, no, that respect towards each other. But here we see that Mother Devahuti, who's staying in a very small hermitage with Kardamamuni in the forest, and still she's having great respect for her husband. And it is also mentioned that she served him with great sense control and sweet words. And there are so many characters. Maitri Muni mentions that she gives up all her lust, pride, envy, the sinful activities, tendency to do sinful activities. And in that manner, she has served Kardamamuni. And then finally, Kardamamuni, he sees no, Mother Devahuti for so many years. No, she has been serving him, and in that process, she has become weak, and her body has been emaciated. No, she has lost completely that lustrous or the shine of her body. Like you just imagine a prince, no. Um who is staying first part of her life in in a kingly palace with all the facilities, and then she's living her second half of her life with her husband in such an austere conditions. We can just imagine, we can just anticipate, how her situation would be with all these years of service towards Kardamumani. And Kardamumani, he becomes very pleased with Mother Devahuti, and he says that I am pleased with you as you have served me without caring even for your body, right? And he mentions that which is the most dear to all the people. So in this material world, what is the most dear thing for all of us is our own body. And then here we see that Mother Devahuti is not giving importance to even her own body, and she has served him. So this, Kardamuni, he actually recognizes this fact, and then he says that no, I shall offer now blessings to you, no, because of my austerity and meditation or my bhakti towards the Supreme Lord. So I can award you something very, which is very, very rare. No, so don't ask for material enjoyments, because these material enjoyments don't last for long. But I have the ability to give you very rare gifts. No, what are those? He mentions also in the end of the verse. He says, Abhayama and Ashoka. So if we observe in this material world, most of the people, they are fearful, right? So it is mentioned in the scriptures, like what is the root cause of this fear? Bhayam. Because uh, a soul, when she or he takes this material body, then the bhayama starts actually, because the soul actually identifies very closely with the body. And the moment we are always thinking that we are this body, then this factor of fear comes into picture. So now Kardamamuni is telling that no, I will give you abhaya, and then I'll give you Ashoka, because along with fear comes lamentation, right? So we are feared, okay, what will happen the next moment? Will I be in the same comfortable situation? Will I have all these positions tomorrow? And then we are in constant lamentation also. Like, okay, I have this, but I want to have these things in my life, which I'm not able to have now. So there is a constant, this factor of fear and lamentation in a normal jivatma, right? So any normal person, if you pick, even in our case also, so when we are still practicing devotional service as a sadhaka, we are still trying to fight with this fear and lamentation. So here we see that Kardamamuni is telling that I will bless you with these rare gifts of Abhayama and Ashoka. Now, what we can learn from this part of section is that we can find very parallel no relationship between disciple and a guru, right? So the way we see here Mother Devahuti or Mother Parvati serving Lord Shiva, we can draw parallels like how a disciple should actually serve a guru, and what is the advantage, right? Why a disciple should serve guru? So it is given in the last part, no, this Abhayama and Ashoka. So how Kardamamuni is able to give as a result of service towards him, he is able to award fearlessness and free from lamentation. So similarly, a guru, once a disciple serves a guru submissively, like it says in Bhagavad Gita 4.34, Tad vidhi pranipatena parirvrashnena sevaya vadekshanti te jnanam jnanena sattvadarshina. Right? So for a son, he need not fight to actually earn or accumulate wealth. If he just serves his father very nicely, he he would inherit by nature all the wealth of his father, right? So similarly, for a disciple, oh gosh, Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu, you are.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, sorry, I just had a power interruption, so I think. So here we can see the parallels, right? So now Kardamoni is telling, I will award you because his wife has served him very nicely. So even when a disciple serves very nicely his guru, then he would actually give the jnana because he has seen the truth. So he would give the jnana, whatever is required for a disciple to actually get the or achieve the goal of life, which is the Krishna Prema, or to get liberation from this material world. So we can draw these parallels, right? And then we can see in our prayers also, no, what we sing in the morning, in the last stanza, we can see that, no, Yasha Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado, Yasha Prasadan na gati kutopi, right? Only by the mercy of spiritual master, one actually receives the benediction of understanding or advancing the spiritual subjects or in the spiritual life. So without the mercy of spiritual master, one cannot actually think of making any advancements, right? So we can actually draw these parallels, like how a wife, a chaste wife serves her husband. A disciple also should be serving a guru in the similar way, right? So now we cannot expect to have a chaste wife and we ourselves are not dedicated to our guru, right? So by will of providence or by the arrangements of the Supreme Lord, so with the potency of an person, no, he gets uh, the similar kind of no wife, right? So we cannot expect like no our wife should be like Mother Devahuti or like Mother Sita. We should introspect and think, are we behaving like Kardamu Muni or are we behaving like Lord Ramchandra, right? So this is a very generic no thought where everybody is trying to trying to evaluate their own spouse, no, that my spouse should learn, no, from Mother Devahuti and then try to serve very nicely, right? So we should accept, no, because whatever situation we are put in this material world, it is actually the will of the Lord, and this is what is best for us. So we should always have faith in the Supreme Lord that no, Krishna would put me in the situation which is best for me, even though we may think, okay, this situation is not uh, like as per my understanding, no, it is not giving a lot of pleasure to me, but probably Krishna wants us to learn something, no, which probably which we have not learned today in our life, right? So only for betterment of our spiritual growth, Krishna would put us in a situation, right? So that's why we should always accept in whatever situation we are, and everybody, should play their role with a lot of responsibility. So we'll see in further verses also where Prabhupada actually mentions in purport like how if one want to become father, mother, king, or a leader or a guru, one has to make sure that their dependents are fulfilling the goal of their life, right? If we are not able to actually guide our dependents towards the goal of life, which is service towards the Supreme Lord, then we don't have any rights to take up that position, right? So, in individual capacity, here we all, most of us are married, have kids. So, we should always think like to ourselves. No, we should be actually, it is said that a devotee is always strict to himself and is very lenient to others, right? So, we should always um, uh, what to say, we should get or we should imbibe these qualities where we are introspecting ourselves and seeing like, okay, with my current position, am I doing enough justice to my role as father, as a husband, as a son, as a member of this ISKCON society, as a disciple of a guru, right? Is my behavior appropriate? So we should introspect ourselves and we should try to be very lenient to others and give them a chance that, okay, they will, if we think that, okay, someone is not doing as they should be doing, then we should just give them a time. No, we should give time for them to mature and then do certain things which we think are right. So we should never be very harsh to others. Like initially when the devotees come, and of course everybody cannot do all the things at the same time. Even if we look ourselves also, we would have not chanted 16 rounds from day one. We would have not followed all the rules and regulations. What to speak of following, we would have not even understood, we would have not even known. So it would have taken us also some time to know things, understand, and with our own whatever what is it, qualities or whatever past nature we would have had, we would have also taken some time to fight with that nature, and then we have taken some time to follow those instructions, right? So we should also be very kind to the other no members, be it family members or other devotees, and we should always be introspecting ourselves that we be a very good practicing devotee. So in this context, there is one verse from Adi Puran where Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that, "Oh Arjuna, those who say that they are my direct devotees, they are actually not my devotees. But one who says that they are devotees of my devotees, they are actually my devotees." Right? So this is a wonderful concept, no, which our Guru Parampara actually we broadcast or we propagate this, that no, everybody should no practice of behaving or being a devotee of a devotee or servant of a servant of a servant. We should not always try to be like, no, I'm a great devotee of Lord Krishna. No, we don't have the qualification. So even today, if Lord Krishna comes to our house, do we think we can independently, with our maturity, can serve Lord Krishna? No, in no way we can actually, no way we have the maturity to serve Lord Krishna. Then what? Then if we try to look one step further, do we have the maturity to serve Radharani, who is the foremost devotee of Lord Krishna? We don't have. Then if we look at one step further down, do we have the ability to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? We see we don't have. Do we have the ability to serve the Shadugo Swamis? We don't have. Do we have the ability to serve Srila Prabhupada directly? We don't have the ability. Like that, if we see, we don't have the ability to serve our temple president, and then we come to understanding that no, we are just qualified to serve just devotees around us. No, probably our immediate, probably Bhakti Rickshaw leader or circle leader or the sector leader. So we just have that ability where we can actually talk our mind to them and they understand us and then they guide us the right way to serve. So practically for a devotee, it is always good to think that, okay, I serve my immediate leader. And then when we are qualified, that leader will say, probably, no, Premadat Prabhu would say, oh, he's a very nice devotee. He would engage us in the service of no Vardhishta Prabhu. Probably our temple president might have some seva in temple. Then he would say, no, he's appropriate, no, to serve you. And then when we are engaged nicely in service of our temple president Vardhishta Prabhu, then he would say, no, he's a very nice devotee. Let me engage him in the service of Guru Maharaj, right? And then when Guru Maharaj is satisfied, he would say to Srila Prabhupada, no, he is very nice devotee, disciple of mine. No, he can help you, propagate this Krishna conscious around the world. And then when Prabhupada is happy, then Prabhupada would say, okay, he would take us to Bhakti Siddhanta Sai Thakur. And like that, no, we should actually climb the stairs, no, step by step, by getting the right maturity and right attitude. We cannot think that, okay, I'm qualified to serve the Supreme Lord, right? So, of course, that is the initial thought where everybody starts with. But by the time we start practicing devotional service, we read scriptures, then we come to know that this is very, very important aspect of devotee or a practicing devotee, that no, he should always have this mindset of being or serving a devotee of the Lord, or devotees, or servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord, right? So here we can see Mother Devahuti, no, she has given up everything to serve Kardamuni. Why? Because Kardamuni is a great devotee of the Supreme Lord, right? So we'll move to the next section. So here we have seen that how Mother Devahuti has very nicely served her husband, and in turn now Kardamuni is uh, saying that I would bless you with this abhema and this free from lamentation. So here we can see Prabhupada also mentions about Narad Muni in the purport, where we all have seen this pastime of Narad Muni, where when Narad Muni was a very small child, no, he has served this devotees of the Supreme Lord who had come and stay in his house for the 4 months. And that's how he was able to get the devotional aspect of towards the Supreme Lord. Until then, Narad Muni had no idea about what the goal of life, what is devotional service and all, right? So similarly, disciple also, initially when he wants to know about the Supreme Lord, he has no knowledge, but once he serves his guru, then he he receives this knowledge, or he is blessed with this knowledge. And we also see that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now himself has come in this Kali Yuga to give this highest goal of life, which is Krishna Prema, right? So that's why we say Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Nama, right? So rightly by Rupa Goswami, now he's addressed this Mahavadanyaya. Why he's addressed as Mahavadanyaya? Because he is freely distributing this Krishna Prema, right? So here also we can see that Kardamuni, when he's satisfied, now he's telling that I will award you this Krishna Prema to you, right? But Mother Devahuti being a woman, no, we'll see in the next few verses. No, she actually says that no, oh my Lord, my dear husband, no, I want you to fulfill the promise which you have given, that you would give to me children's, right? So it is actually understood for a chaste woman towards her, who's very chaste to her husband. Now she would actually wish bearing children, right? So this is very natural. And this is one of the promises which Kardamuni also gives, that no, once he gives children's, awards children's to Mother Devoti, then he would actually live this grasta life, and he would go and do full-time devotional service to the Supreme Lord, right? Then we can see the descriptions, like how she mentions Devavati, Mother Devati, she mentions that no, that I am not fit currently in my current body, which has been emaciated, no, which is very weak, lost the attractiveness or the lustrous shine. So she says that no, you please arrange that no, I actually am able to unite with you and beget children. So understanding the desire of his wife, so Kardamuni very pleasingly, he creates the aerial mansion, no? So we can see here that Kardamuni is addressed as Mahatma in this verse. So here we can see from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, like, what is the definition of Mahatmas, right? So he says in 9.13 that Mahatmanas tu mam partha Devim Prakritim Ashrita. So this is one of the great quality of Mahatmas. What is that quality? Daivim Prakriti Ashritam. So they are taking ashray of Daivim Prakriti. So they are under the Yoga Maya potency of the Lord. They are not under the Maya, right? So generally we all Jivatmas, we are under the influence of the Maya Shakti of the Supreme Lord, which is a material potency. But the Mahatmas, they are under the protection of Yoga Maya. So Prabhupada mentions that no, here Kardamuni is able to create an aerial mansion because of his potency, that he has taken shelter of Lord's Yoga Maya. It is not that he is a very great, he's having great yogic power because of his austerity and then he's able to create this mansion. No, out of his devotional service to Supreme Lord, he has the ability to create this aerial mansion. So similarly in Bhagavad Gita, we can see 8.28 where Krishna is mentioning that no. So for a devotee, no, once become devotee, he gets all the results of studying the Vedas, doing all the yagnas, undergoing all the tapasyas, and giving all the charities, right? So this famous verse which says Vedeshu Yagneshu Tapaschaiva Daneshu Yat Punya Phalam Pradishta. So a person who is actually devoted to the Supreme Lord, so he gets all the phala of doing all these things, right? So similarly, we can see here Kardamuni, he has just done devotional service to the Supreme Lord, but still he has the ability to create the mansion, right? And then here we also see in this context that Mother Devahuti is requesting for a union so that they can beget children. So in Bhagavad Gita, we also see in this context where Krishna is mentioning in 7th chapter that Dharma Vriddha Bhuteshu Kamosmi. Like when he's explaining that I am that sex life which is not in contrary to religious principles. So here we can see that Mother Devahuti is very nicely served her husband, and now she is expecting to beget children. So which is actually in line with the religious principles. So we should not think that this is something very contrary to the dharma or religious principles, right? So now in the third part of the section, so once Mother Devahuti, she desires to have union with Kardamuni and beget children. So we see here Kardamuni is able to create mansion, and we see few of the verses in this chapter which describes the glorious beauty of this mansion. No, it is mentioned that no, the floors are made with emeralds and jewels, and no, even in the night it is not required to light a lamp. No, just with like moon light, the whole palace is glowed. No, there is no required of no like lighting any lamp to see in the dark. So this palace was having such sort of jewels, precious stones, right? And it is also mentioned like how it is having beautiful bed, couches, fans, and no curtains with the linen and silk cloth, and beautiful birds around with beautiful gardens. So there are so many verses no which describe actually about the beauty of the mansion. So we can actually find parallels in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna in 15th chapter says that no, that I enter into each planet, and I with my energy I make sure that each planet is in its orbit, right? So we see around us no all the at least the solar system which we can actually observe and take what to say observations. So scientists have never found any planet to be off orbit, no? So they have a designated orbit for each planet, and they have seen for all these years that no, each every planet is rotating in the same orbit. So when Krishna, the Supreme Lord, can do these things, so it is not a great deal for a devotee like Kardamuni to create a tiny mansion and which can float in air, right? So we are trying to draw parallels where right, because the devotee of the Supreme Lord, he exhibits the characters and no the power of the Supreme Lord. So the devotee of a Supreme Lord is much greater than the devatas, right? So for someone who is having materialistic desires, if they want to fulfill certain desires, so for example, if someone wants prosperity in their life, lot of wealth, lot of good luck, so there is a vidhi and vidhan. So they have to worship a particular demigod. In this case, they have to worship Lord Ganesha. So they have to do puja. So there is a way, right? No, in which we have to do puja or vrata, and then finally, when Lord Ganesha is satisfied with our this process, then he will award us the prosperity. But in case of a devotee, if any materialistic person he has some desires, so what he has to do is he has to just simply satisfy this devotee, and this devotee can award anything, right? So if we see sadhu, so this is a very great practice in India, right? So whenever they see sadhu, when they know there is a sadhu nearby, they want to actually invite them to their house, or they want to go and serve. Why? Because they know sadhus are very powerful. They can award us whatever benedictions we want. So someone who goes to a sadhu serves very nicely, and they just try to share their probably some problem like, okay, we are trying to beget children from many years but we are not able to. Then if the sadhu is satisfied and says, okay, tatastu, no, may you get children, so they need not follow any other vidhi and vidhan of what to say doing worship towards any demigods or devi, or even acquiring some sukriti to have children, just because a devotee has blessed them, so they would beget children, right? So that is the power of a devotee. No, he is as good as Supreme Lord in his nature and in his ability to do things also. So here we can see that because Kardamuni was a great devotee, he was able to actually create this beautiful mansion. And then in the next few verses, no, from 22 to 33, we can see like how uh, Though initially when Devahuti sees this aerial mansion, but she's not very pleased, right? So it is as good as like, you see a very big feast in front of you, and today is Nirjala Ekadashi, so there is nothing you can do, right? So there, though Devahuti sees that there is a beautiful mansion created by Kardamuni, but with her current bodily state, she would not able to enjoy because she's so weak, fragile, completely emaciated. So Kardamuni understands, like Devahuti is not still happy with this act. So then he orders Devahuti that there is a Sarovar, there is a Bindu Sarovar nearby, which is created by Lord Vishnu himself. So you please take bath in that Bindu Sarovar, right? And the moment Mother Devahuti enters Bindu Sarovar, she sees that there are many maid servants around her, and they are with her folded hands, they are at her service saying that, okay, now we are your servants. You please let us know what we can do for you. And then we see that no, they actually help Mother Devahuti take bath in a very uh, beautiful ointments, and then they dress her with excellent clothing and jewels, and they feed her very good royal food, and then actually they decorate her very very beautifully. And then um, when Mother Devahuti, after getting so nicely decorated with beautiful this ornaments, garlands, these anklets, and so she wishes that no, that I want my husband to see me. And the moment she thought that I want my husband to see me, all along with her, all the maid servants, they got transported, in front of uh, Kardamuni, or I think it is Kardamuni who appears at that situation, right? So here we can see that how Mother Devahuti, she thinks and then her wishes are getting fulfilled by Kardamuni. So here we can see some pastime about this Bindu Sarovar. So Kardamuni is a great devotee of Supreme Lord. He is not like a normal yogi who is trying to meditate on the Supreme Lord, but he's a devotional or devotee yogi, who has spent many many years trying to meditate on the Supreme Lord for thousands of years. And when Lord Vishnu was satisfied with Kardamuni, he appears in front of him, and then he asks for a benediction. And Kardamuni was a great, like he was a Uttamadhikari at that point of time. No, he was not like a Madhyamadhikari or just a great devotee. He was like, he was a Mahatma. He has understood the goal of life, and he had no desire except to serve the Supreme Lord. But the moment when Lord Brahma, he asked for benediction, Kardamuni, he requested that he get married to a suitable wife. And Lord Vishnu was very, very pleased with this behavior of Kardamuni, because Lord Vishnu knew that Kardamuni didn't wanted wife for himself actually, because he was completely out of material modes. Lord Vishnu knew perfectly that because Kardamuni, being son of Lord Brahma, and he has been given this order by Lord Brahma that no, you should actually help me in progeny and you should get married. So just to fulfill the uh, what to say order or wish of his father, Kardamuni is telling to Lord Vishnu that you please give me a suitable wife, get me married. And here Lord Vishnu, he becomes so emotional that a drop of uh, tear from his eye fall at that place, and it becomes this Bindu Sarovar. So this is brief history about this Bindu Sarovar. So here we can see that Lord likes the simplicity of a devotee, right? So any practicing devotee, we should have a very subtle or a simple heart. We should not be duplicit, right? So here Kardamuni was not acting duplicitly. No, he didn't think, oh, I'm such a great devotee. How would it look that if I ask for a wife? Does it look good for a sadhu to ask for a wife? Anybody who hears this pastime, they would just think, oh, probably he's not a great Mahatma. He's just a devotee, but he's not reached to that level where he's out of this material nature. But actually, Karda Muni was no out of this material, these three modes of material nature. But still, he was very simple in his heart. He just asked for a suitable good wife. So we can learn that no, we should Krishna or Supreme Lord or even senior devotees. Like we may think that we are very smart enough to be duplicit in front of someone, but no, as it is mentioned in the scriptures. No, a guru can see through a devotee's heart. No, you may give some reasons. Oh, I couldn't do this because I had this problem. I had this work, so I didn't do. But no, our guru or the senior devotees knows what is there in your heart, why you are not able to pick up that service. So it is not that you had other things to be bothered. It is because you are not sincere enough to take up that service. You have other priorities of fulfilling your material desires, right? So that's why as a practicing devotees, we should not be duplicit that, oh, I can do this, I can do that, you please give me service, I will do. No, for sake of saying, many times we try to say that, no, we are at your service always, you please give me services and all. So a devotee should always be upfront and simple in his heart. Like if he's not able to do something out of any reason because of his past conditionings or because of his inability, so we should put forth that in front of our guru or senior devotee saying that, no, Prabhu, no, I'm not able to do this. No, you have suggested me that I should be following this or doing this. But because of these conditioning or because of these situations at my home or in my life, I'm not able to do this. So when we are straightforward, simple-hearted, what happens is it is an opportunity for us to be guided. So if we always say, oh, everything is very nice, no, I'm able to do my sadhana very good, I'm not struggling at all, I'm happy with everything what is there in my life. If we are duplicit and internally we are not happy, we are thinking like how to solve these problems, how to progress in my spiritual life, but we are portraying to other devotees that no, or in front of guru that no, I'm progressing very well in my spiritual life, then we actually lose the opportunity to be guided, be corrected, and then no progress in our spiritual life. You know? So this is what we can learn from this nature of Kardamuni, just to be simple-hearted. And in this context, we also see a story of no Panduranga Vittala and devotee Pundalik, right? So we all know this famous story where no Vittala is at the doorstep of Pundalik and saying that no, I have come to meet you. But Pundalik is saying that no, no, I am busy serving my parents. Once I complete my service, then I'll come and meet you, right? So this is the simple heart of a devotee, right? So they are giving priority to the service. It is not that someone says that, oh, our Guru Maharaj has come and we just leave everything. No, we don't take care of our household activities. We don't take care of the service which are given to us in the temple. And then we are just concentrating only taking darshan of our Guru Maharaj, going near Guru Maharaj, to be seen by Guru Maharaj that, see, I'm there as a disciple of you. And then touching, getting an opportunity to touch Guru Maharaj. So these are all like, no, not so matured behavior of a devotee, right? So probably initially when devotees, when we are not matured, we can see that we would have these kind of behaviors. But a devotee is very much happy doing service in the background, right? So here we can see both Kardamuni and Pundali. So they gave priority to the service what they were assigned to, right? So we also know in our devotional practice also we should give importance to the service which is given to us, and even if Supreme Lord comes, we have to say that no, this is a service which is given to me by my Guru Maharaj. So my prime duty is to fulfill his desire, and then only I can attend you. No, this should be our attitude. Of course, we cannot imitate, but we should try to follow footsteps of devotees where we can try to learn these qualities, right? So after that, there's a lot of descriptions from verse number 34 to 43, like how Kardamuni and Mother Devahuti, they enjoy in this aerial mansion, and the opulence are described, that which actually are beyond the opulence even given by devatas, right? So I think in interest of time, I would skip this, because I think the last portion is very, very important. And then Mother Devahuti, she requests for kids, and then there are descriptions uh, about union of Kardamani and Devahuti. So there are detailed discussions, and Prabhupada also gives in the purport large descriptions about this union. So just to give snippets of this section. So Kardamuni, he divides himself into 9 personalities to give delight to Mother Devahuti. So now it is generally mentioned in scriptures that no, the woman has 9 times more urge than a man to fulfill the union, right? So in order to fulfill Mother Devahuti's desire, so we see that Kardamuni, he splits himself into 9 forms. So here also we can see that no, Kardamuni, being a great devotee of Lord, the Supreme Lord, is exhibiting the qualities. No, there is not an ordinary person who can actually divide himself into different forms, right? But here we see that Kardamuni is dividing himself into 9 forms and giving pleasure to Mother Devahuti. And then we see that how no, there are hundreds and hundreds of years which pass by, and they seem to be like a moment for them, right? And at the end we see that Mother Devahuti gives birth to 9 daughters. And then she sees that no, Kardamuni, because he has fulfilled the wish of Mother Devahuti giving kids, like children's, now he is about to leave, right? And this is the moment, no, we see that Mother Devahuti is actually lamenting, right? So actually this is the crux of this whole chapter, right? So the moment she sees that her husband is leaving, so she can see, no, she can actually um, recognize the fact that all these years, now she has been staying with a Mahatma, with such a great devotee of the Supreme Lord, and what she has done, she has wasted her life. Even after serving him, she has asked only for material opulences, and she felt very bad that no, that she was not able to take a right association of this great devotee, right? So that's why this gives us a very good lesson for all of us, that no, whenever we are in association of devotees, so we have to make best use of the situation, right? So we have to not see that okay, we have a lot of time, and probably we can cultivate knowledge about spiritual practices later. So let us enjoy this time in association with this devotee. No, we should actually feel that how now Devahuti is feeling that no, now he is living. No, he's leaving the home, and I have not spent the time in a right way. And she is telling that no, how she is unfortunate that no, because of this uh, material modes of nature, she was in ignorance, right? And she didn't take proper what to say, she didn't take a proper association of a devotee who can actually award Krishna prema and liberation. And she says, no, what is the use of following dharma? Because she was following dharma very nicely. She was the best of the example of following dharma of a wife. She has spent so many years doing so much of austere service towards Kardamuni, but she was now lamenting, what's the use of following this dharma? No, which couldn't give rise to vairagya, no, which is detachment to this material uh, sense enjoyment. And what is the use of vairagya, which cannot lead to the service of the Supreme Lord? And such a living person is equal to living corpus, no, that person is like a dead person, no, though he's living, but he's like a dead person. So Devahuti is lamenting that though I have followed dharma, but it didn't, I couldn't get vairagya. And without and this vairagya also couldn't lead me to the service of the Supreme Lord, right? And then she says now that I have been very nicely cheated by Maya, the potency of the Supreme Lord. So please give me your association so that I can get liberated. See, now you see, even there is a verse mentioned by Shankaracharya who says that no, this material desire cannot be fulfilled, right? He says day in, day out, morning, evening, years pass by, seasons pass by. You may be fulfilling your desires, but they would not come an end where you can say that, okay, all my desires have been fulfilled. Even Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says that no, there is no limit to this unwanted desires, right? And I am shameful of myself that I have been listening to these shameful desires and I'm fulfilling them one by one. But now, because of your mercy, oh Lord, I have come in touch with my Guru. So please help me to surrender myself, and so that no, I don't obey these orders of material desires. So even no, Rupa Goswami mentions this about material desires in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And even Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions this kama rupena kaunteya. So this kama roop, which is actually there in our mind, senses, and intelligence. No, this is the eternal enemy for a living entity, and which can never be satisfied and which burns like a fire, right? So even Krishna is describing this lust, this calm, or this material desire, that no, it is the number one enemy which is sitting in our mind, intelligence, and senses, and which can never be satisfied. So Krishna is telling our friend, don't think that okay, you think that okay, I'll satisfy this desire, I'll be probably in peace. No, we cannot be. So solution is not to fulfill all the desires. Krishna says that no, they're always like burning fire. No, you cannot actually um, extinguish them. So the only thing you can do is to do devotional service to the Supreme Lord and thereby disobey the orders of your material desires. So here we can see that no, Mother Devahuti is lamenting at the end of this chapter that she was not able to take proper association of her devotee husband. And we see that no, in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, uh, in Madhya Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Khai, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. So only by momentary association of a pure devotee, one can attain all the success in his life, right? But only thing is we have to take that proper association. So here we see that Mother Devati was not able to take proper association, but in the next chapter we'll see that how Kardamuni will bless Mother Devahuti with a son, because in this chapter also she says that you have given me daughters, but they are not cause of abhayama, because I cannot be fearless with daughters, because daughters would get married one day and they would go away. Give me son, give me fearlessness, right? So Supreme Lord is also called as Abhaya. So ironically, we'll see that though she's mentioning that no, give me a son so that he can take care of me, because that's how women is protected. So when they're kid, they're protected by father, and their youth, they're protected by husband, and then in their old age, they're protected by son. But ironically, we'll see in next chapter like how Lord Krishna himself, the Supreme Lord, comes himself as son of Mother Devoti, and he gives that abhayama, that fearlessness. So we'll see how Lord Kapila instructs Mother Devoti about spiritual matters and how she actually gets liberation through that process. Okay, so I would stop here our discussion. So if I know we are already past 7 o'clock, so if there are any comments or questions, we can take probably for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can join the GSSS meeting. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare
Prabhu
Krishna.
Rohini Mataji has raised the hand.
Yeah, Rohini Mataji, you can speak.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Danvat Pranam. Very nice lecture, very nice class. Though I heard about Kardama Muni and Devahuti, I heard some new points this time. And I had this question about how Krishna will get, that much merciful, and that he shed the tears, one tear. Yeah, that was answered nicely. And one more point I like this introspective, like we have to check ourselves how much we are doing, like following the Devahuti, or like following like Kardama Muni. So if each one of us, like if we introspect ourselves, then we can live in a better like better consciousness. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Okay, so if
Yeah, I think there are no questions. Everybody is, I think, eager to join the JSS meeting. So, so those who are not aware, I had shared in Absolute Truth, and there is a glorification of His Holiness Jayapadaka Swami Guru Maharaj. It starts at 7 o'clock. So anybody, or rather, everybody should join there and hear from His Grace Vardha Krishna Prabhu about the glorification of